Hello there guys! For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a fruit transparent effect in Photoshop. And also, we will dive deeper into desaturating of layers, changing blending mode, applying curves, and using perspective warp. So let's get started! So here in our document, I got here an image of this grapefruit and its image of its pulp inside. So we're gonna bring this one in our canvas. So to move this one, I'm gonna make use of a marquee tool to create a selection. So going on to the second tool, first second, right click on that, go to rectangular marquee tool, it's the first one, and then let's create a rectangle around the grapefruit, something like this. And then I'm gonna make use of the move tool, or V for the shortcut key, and then click and drag it on our original document. Alright, so there you have it. Now the next step here is we're going to change the background into a darker one for us to see the transparent effect later on. So to do that, I'm going to the adjustment layer icon here, click on this, go to solid color, and for now I'm gonna use here a dark green color. Select OK. Alright, so let's bring that layer on top. There we are. Now the next step we're gonna do here is we're going to mask this orange. So let's remove those background. So to do that, with that layer selected, right, or the orange layer, so let's rename this one orange. So with that layer selected, go to the properties. Under properties, you're gonna see here quick actions, select remove background. And that's how quick it removes the background. So the next step here is we're going to right click on the mask of that orange layer and then apply layer mask. Okay, so we're good with this. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my videos to other nerds like us. Going back, the next step we're going to do here is we're going to duplicate the orange layer. So to do that, select it on that layer. I'm going to right click on it and then choose on duplicate layer. And then let's set this one as transparent orange. Okay, and then select OK. Alright, so now we already have two layers here of orange. So from the first orange, or the original orange layer, I'm going to hide this one for now. Okay, and then select on the transparent orange. Now the next step we're going to do here is we're going to desaturate this orange, or this transparent orange layer. So to do that, with that transparent orange layer selected, I am going to the image. Under image, go to adjustments, and then find desaturate. And there you have it. It's already desaturated. Now the next step here is we're going to change the blend mode of this transparent orange layer. Okay, so look at the changes here when I do that. So just select on this arrow for the changing of blend modes. Click that. And then choose screen. There you have it. Okay, now to make this one more transparent, now we're going to apply here the levels. Okay, so to do that, with that transparent layers orange selected still, I'm going to the image. Under image, go to adjustments. And then find levels. Okay, this is the transparency happens. So from the shadow slider here on the left side, I'm going to click and drag it, moving to decrease the darker areas. There you are. And then for the midtones, I'm going to click and drag it, moving to the left. Okay, and also the highlight slider going to the left. Okay. Alright, so it still looks so white, so I'll keep on decreasing that by moving this shadow slider. Okay, until I created an effect like this. Okay, there are. Alright, so look at that. So I set the shadows to 149, to midtones to 1.28, and to highlights to 215. Okay, and then once set, select OK. Alright, now the next step we're going to do here is we're going to create a mask of this transparent orange. So to do that, with that layer selected, I'm going down here and then select on add mask icon, or add layer mask icon. Okay, now we're going to make use of a brush here. Select on the brush tool. So from the options on top, I'm going to set the size into around 500. Okay, yes, this one is okay. Alright, and then I'm going to choose a hard round brush here. Okay, Alright, now once set, I'm going to set also the foreground color to black. Okay, and then let's erase the lower part of it. Okay, something like this. Okay, now let's bring back the orange layer visible. Okay, there are. Okay, and then I'm going to copy the layer mask thumbnail of the transparent orange to the orange layer. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to press Alt, hold it, and then click and drag it onto the orange layer. Alright, so once I did that, it created something like this. See? Alright, and now we're going to invert this layer mask of the orange layer. So to do that, with that layer mask selected, I'm going to press Ctrl plus I. Okay, so once I did that, it created an effect like this. So something like the half of the grapefruit is not that transparent, but the other half on top is transparent. See? Okay, now the next step we're going to do here is we're going to fit in the pulp. So going back to our assets, okay, this one, I'm going to create a selection only on the pulp or the inside part of the grapefruit. So going on to the toolbar, I'm going to make use of a quick selection tool here. So go to the 4 tool, first, second, third, fourth, click on that. That's how it looks like. And let's deselect this selection, press Ctrl plus D, and let's create a new selection. Alright, so I'm gonna click and drag it. Alright, so let's only include the pulp inside, but not the skin outside. Alright, successfully. Okay, now I'm going to press V and then click and drag this one on our original document. So let's click and drag it over here. Alright, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to bring up the transformation command. So select Control plus T for that. And then right click on it. I'm going to flip this one first. Horizontal. Okay, something like this. And then let's do the perspective warp. So once this one is selected with the transformation command, I'm going to right click on it and then find perspective. Okay, now I'm going to flatten this one. So I'm going to click and drag this one here, something like this. Alright, I'm okay with this. Okay, and then I'm going to adjust the size of it. So let's go back to the transformation command. Even though it's in perspective warp, I'm going to press Ctrl plus T to bring that to transformation command. And now I can now adjust the size of it. See? Okay, there are. Now once you're good with it, press enter. Now next up, we're going to create a group for these 3 layers. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to select on the transparent orange layer. I'm going to press Control, then select on this layer, and also select on this layer. Now they're all selected, and after that, all I have to do is to press G to create a group. So something like this. See? So they're already in one folder. And lastly, we're going to create a shadow. Alright, so to do that, just go to the Add New Layer icon, select that, and then let's rename this one as our shadow. With that shadow layer selected, I'm going to choose on the brush tool, or just select B for that. For the options, let's change the brush into soft round. For the size of the brush to 500. Now I'm okay with this. For the color, set that to color black. And then let's create a dot of a black paint here. Alright, there are. Okay, now I'm going to drag the shadow layer under this group layer. So click and drag it, something like that. Now let's bring up the transformation command and let's flatten that shadow. So I'm going to select on that shadow layer, press Ctrl plus T, and then let's drag this down under this orange. And then I'm going to change that to perspective and then drag these points down, also to the other side, to flatten this one, and then click and drag it over here. Alright, there we go. Now we just created a shadow, okay? And lastly, for the shadow, go to the menu bar, go to filter, under filter, choose blur, and then find Gaussian blur. Okay, so I'm going to set the radius to 20 pixels. Okay, there you have it. Alright, now I'm good with this. Now, and it's because that is a transparent, so we can change our background in any color. So for example, from the color fill layer, I'm going to double click on that. and then we can change whatever color you want on our transparent fruit. So let's say I'm gonna choose this light green. Select OK. And now let me show you the before and after. So this one is the before, and this one is the after. And that is how to make a transparent fruit effect in Photoshop.